What's up, people? Haven't showered. Greasy. It's hot out, but I love it. I love the outside. I got my little nugget champion, Tallulah Jane Floyd, sleeping, resting so that she can. Let me check. Yeah, I always gotta check. Resting so she can heal, so she can be developmentally strong. Hey, to start today's Bible time, I dove into today's Monday. Sorry to cover the lens there with my hand. Welcome to newbie filming YouTube episodes. I started with prayer over my family. Love praying over my family. First confessing my sin, then confessing their sin. And today is for Tallulah Jane Floyd and Sophia Jane Floyd. Today is actually their heart for God and love for the gospel. So I pray that over their lives. And how I prayed over their lives is by asking God to make me the example of that over their lives, because I can't preach that and teach that before I show that. That's more powerful, is showing that in their lives, that dad is walking faithfully with God, and so is mom. And I prayed, Emily and I, today's Monday, so that prayer for us specifically is over replacing our income, and which in a lot of ways God revealed to me a revelation today of like He's already done that. We've been in ministry now for 4 years, and we haven't had to worry about money and finances. And that is an absolute answer to prayer that God graciously reminded me of today in my kind of discouragement. And I got another story for you today, but I want to jump right into Scripture after that long introduction, and tell you a few things that I think will empower you, encourage you, and transform you to be a better disciple. That's what it's about. It's about the journey. So I hope today's word to you is a blessing, and I can't wait to share it with you. So let's dive in together. And I got my Bible here. Sometimes I read from my phone, and like today I saw a text and did some work, and I was like, nope, my phone. Come on, focus, James. Focus. It says this, Exodus 15, and as you know, last video we talked about the context of the water and Moses crying out, "Lord, help us! We don't have any water. We haven't drank for 3 days." And here's what he did. Verse 25 of Exodus 15. Then Moses cried out to the Lord, and the Lord showed him a piece of wood, and he threw it into the water, and the water became fit to drink. I think it's amazing. God could have easily been, popped that water right into perfection. But what I think God is teaching them right now, I don't know if this is theologically correct, but I believe this is true, that God is teaching them devotion to Him. That God is saying, hey, not only am I going to protect you literally, but I'm going to give you the power through you to walk in the miraculous, to walk in the supernatural. You just need to commune with me. And so God worked through Moses. The action was, hey buddy, throw this wood into the water. Can you imagine Moses like, are you sure? This sappy piece of wood? Commentaries say, hey man, this sap maybe filtered it, etc. I just think that the main teaching point here is that, man, this is crazy, but God gives us instruction out of His mercy and love and grace. And if we do it, we'll see the miraculous happen. And not only the miraculous happen for His glory, but for everybody around us, witnessing and testifying about it. So here we go. The Lord issued a ruling and instruction for them and put them to the test. When I first read this, I was like, why they need to be tested? Aren't they good? They've been through enough slavery. No water for 3 days, Lord. Come on, what are you doing? Here's what He says. If you listen carefully to the Lord your God and do what is right in His eyes, if you pay attention to His commands and keep all His decrees, I will not bring on you any of the diseases I brought on the Egyptians, for I am the Lord who heals you. I am the Lord who heals you. Then they came to Elm, where there were 12 springs and 70 palm trees, and they camped there near the water. Talk about some coconut water, one of my favorite commodities, a coconut. So many powerful things in a coconut. I love it. But here's the power of what God is doing, I believe. God is saying, hey, you remember the Egyptians and what happened to them? Look, I love you guys, so I want to give you a good picture, a striking picture that's going to help you understand how powerful and important the devotion is to me. Those diseases that happen to them, they won't happen to you if you stay in communion with me, if you obey me, if you spend time with me. And just like me today, I literally felt drowsy, discouraged, but I spent time with the Lord, and in this very few seconds, I became His again, and I became quenched. I became encouraged, and God, instead of me now seeing the Israelites as these victims, I now see the Israelites as extreme victors. Though they are special people, they're not special people. And I like this analogy as I practiced this before the video. As a teacher, right, you give rules and boundaries to all your students. Well, say I'm a student to the class. I walk in and Mr. Smith has a student my age too walking into class. We're going to be treated equally to that teacher, despite all my schmoozing abilities to try to get better grades. It didn't work most of the time. It worked in college. Story for another time. Not that bad of a story. Just don't go there. It's an encouraging story. Nothing happened. I just got extra time to because I gave some donuts, extra time on my research paper in college. Anyway, okay, let's go back. We're going to be treated equally as students because the teacher loves us and have great boundaries. And if we both follow the teacher and those boundaries, we will thrive as students in their class. That's what God is getting at here. And yes, 1 Peter does say we are a royal priesthood, a chosen people, God's special possession, set out to do what? His work, make His name known, not make ourselves awesome and make our name known and be comfortable and live this short earthly life for me and myself. You know, as a young kid, we don't live our lives for our childhood. We live our lives in the confines of our mom and dad. We thrive when we do that. So here's the truth: as God is our great physician, and I love what Matthew Henry says in this beautiful quote. God is the great physician. If we be kept well, it is He that keeps us. If we be made well, it is He that restores us. He is our life and the length of our days. Wow, powerful. So true. And here's why I am like Israel. And I forget, sorry, I'm moving some shoes, getting a different vantage point so that you can follow along here. Here's my story. This is an awesome military coin. I know it looks demonic. It's not, I promise. It says True Grit on the front of it. Well, in my military career as an officer, I never really got coins. And this is okay. You know, enlisted got it. Enlisted folks got it because they did a lot of the work. We mainly plan, make those decisions, and they execute. But I did see tons of officers get it. And I got kind of sad because I was really projecting Jesus, and I thought that was a part of it, and it might have been a part of it, but ultimately my coin rack had like one coin on it. And when you go into officers who are commanders and been there for a while, they have like 16 coins on their coin rack, and it's like the generals gave them it, and high-ranking officers give you these coins. So it's really special. Imagine in your workplace a CEO or a gym owner or somebody coming down and recognizing you with a coin. It's really cool. It's really special. But that really left a void in my heart. So after I left the military, man, something incredible happened. People I met, civilians, started and beautiful people started to give me coins. Now I have a coin rack of like 8 coins. What God was showing me was that James, you're my soldier, not the world's soldier. You keep your eyes fixed on me, and I will provide. You obey me, and I will provide. And I will encourage you through the process. Don't believe me? Ask God today to encourage you, and He will show up in miraculous, cool, fun ways. So hey, check this out. This coin was given to me after I shared my testimony a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and here's why I'm mentioning the story. And it was so powerfully needed. I was like, man, I'm busy. I'm here at Lake Hartwell, 3 hours away from my family, and I just feel like I need to tell these boys my story. And I did, and a volunteer that was listening, whose prior service came up to me afterwards. He's struggling with PTSD. He had a surprise to show me, and he presented to me this coin and gave it to me. And of course, like I said, it says True Grit on it. And God was saying, hey man, your grit that you have, that's what I supply. I'm going to give you more of it. Keep fixed on me and stay focused. And I will give you the desires of your heart. Psalms 37:4. Not a car, not freedom from the suffering, but fruit in the suffering, but hope in the suffering. And as a result, he gets glory. And everybody else witnesses and testifies about that glory. It's like this. Psalms 1 says it. Blessed is the one who does not walk in step with the wicked, or stand in the way that sinners take, or sit in the company of mockers, but whose delight is in the law of the Lord, and who meditates on this law day and night. That person is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season. I wish it said every day, but it says season. And whose leaf does not wither. Whatever they do prospers. Whatever they do prospers. Isn't that amazing? Now that's the truth. In every season, you're going to prosper. But also, the fruit of some of your testing and trials is going to come in seasons. Another passage says it this way, and everybody knows it well. John 15, verse 5 is one of my favorite verses in the Bible. I'm the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me, and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. Isn't that the truth? Apart from God, you can do nothing. And just like Israel was reminded in a merciful, loving way through that season of lack of water, and through the season of forgetting God, God reminded them, hey, stay close to me. You and I are reminded today to stay close to God, because he is our great physician, and he has more for us. Whatever you see that's good that comes out of your life, that is God. You say, James, well, I see that in bad people too. It's called common grace. It's called common grace. God is that merciful and loving and just that he gives other people that aren't even in his family fruit to be seen by the world. So don't focus on other people. Focus on God. Keep your eyes fixed on him. And this season that you're in, this drought that you're in maybe, it's not going to be there forever. My drought that I'm in right now is not going to be there forever. God has beautiful seasons for us, and you're doing a great job as long as you're keeping fixed on him.